I guess the only real news, John, that I can think of Texans-wise from this past week is that on Friday, Will Anderson signed his rookie deal, 4 years, $35 million, $22 million guaranteed. And I guess probably if it's news, I don't know how newsy it is because these contracts are all slotted, but CJ Stroud is one of a handful of rookies who still has yet to sign his deal. But what are your thoughts on the Will Anderson getting that piece of business done?
Nothing. There's no contract issues anymore unless a guy doesn't report to training camp because he doesn't like the language in the contract. When I used to cover the Oilers, they had holdouts that would go to the trade deadline in October. They'd have multiple holdouts missing training camp, and every day agents were ripping the general manager. General manager was ripping the agents. Now that's news, but I love it. The way it is today, you don't have to mess with it. And you just wait till they say it's done.
Yeah, and I guess the only thing, if that were the case, then why? I'm sure a question people are listening to the pod are asking, okay, well, why aren't all 31 first-round picks signed then if it's that easy?
Because it's slotted, as you mentioned.
It's slotted, but if it's slotted, it should be real easy. I guess there are a few little things linguistically in the contract that they can haggle over, offset language and things like that. That get hung up. I guess, John, the message I would give to Texan fans, because it's probably less about Will Anderson and more about CJ Stroud and the fact that David Mulugheta is CJ Stroud's agent, is, to your point, it's all slotted. There's little things here and there that they can haggle over, but this is not going to turn into some sort of crisis for the Texans because David Mulugheta has a hangover from whatever was going on with Deshaun Watson a couple years ago.
Mulugheta loves the Texans. They gave him an incredible extension. They gave him the no trade clause. They got no issues with him. And you mentioned offset language. I'm guessing most viewers and listeners have no clue what that is. And it has to do with if you get cut. It's so amazing to me that you're talking about first-round picks and possibly getting cut before their contract's up. And it happens, because some of them tend to be bust. Well, offset means they get all their money no matter what they get with the other team. And a lot of them say, hey, if we cut you, we shouldn't have to pay you the rest if another team is paying it. And some of them make a big deal out of it. I remember one of the Bosses missed a lot of training camp, and then they always cave.
Yeah. I was thinking about this too, John, just in the wake of this news and then the Rockets draft last week, where the Rockets, by all accounts, had a pretty good draft. The experts who follow the draft, they got Amen Thompson with the 4th pick, and they got Cam Whitmore, the freshman from Villanova, with the 20th pick. He slid all the way to 20th in the draft, and that was viewed as a steal by a lot of people. There's a lot of fun rookies in this town right now. Between the top 2 guys for the Texans, Stroud and Anderson, who, by the way, Anderson favorite for the defensive rookie of the year, Stroud 4th on the odds board for offensive rookie of the year. Bijan Robinson is the favorite. Hunter Brown is 4th on the AL Rookie of the Year odds board, 9.5 to 1. And then you got the 2 Rocket rookies who, one is Thompson is 14 to 1, Whitmore is 20 to 1. The NBA, they're going to have to, Victor Wembanyama is going to have to get abducted by aliens to not win Rookie of the Year probably. So the Rocket rookies probably are super long shots in actuality. But that's a pretty fun little quintet of rookies right there in this town.
It's not just rookies, it's second-year players like Derek Stingley Jr. and Jalen Petrie and Jabari Smith and Eason. The Rockets have so many number 1 picks. I couldn't believe they've had multiples for so long, and they have so many. And Smith and Jalen Green are their 2 best players. And I thought Whitmore, I didn't know a lot about it. I was watching it, and I was watching Jay Billis, who's one of the top broadcasters for ESPN, couldn't understand why he didn't go. And I think he had him listed as 4th best on his board ahead of the Thompson. So that would have been absolutely qualify as a steal. It's going to be fun to watch and see how these guys develop.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way. Just to put numbers to what you just said, John, they picked 8 players in the first round in the last 3 seasons.
Wow.
Which I guess probably speaks to the value of first-round picks in the NBA versus the NFL. Like, if you had a team that picked 8 players in the first round the last 3 years in the NFL, if one of them's a good quarterback, chances are you're talking about that team being a Super Bowl contender. the Rockets are talking about having to spend $60 million on overpriced free agents just to compete for a playoff spot, which I think, nature of the sport, if you get those picks right in the first round, boy, it can really boost you. But it's such volatility in the NBA.
I was watching ESPN on Sunday night. One of their former front office executives, who's an expert, and he was showing if the Rockets signed James Harden, which would be like $47 million, how you could take 3 good free agents who would fit what they need for the same thing you could spend on Harden. And I'm totally against Harden coming back to Houston. Give me those other free agents any day of the week.
Yeah. I'd be curious who they are. Did you remember names? Did he put names to it, John?
Oh, yeah. He slid them over from the category, told how they'll fit in. One was a guy from Denver who opted out.
Bruce Brown.
Bruce Brown.
Yep.
He was one. I forget the other two. But he said if the Rockets take these 3 guys for the same amount, doesn't mean they could get them. Yeah. He was just talking about how much the cap would be or how much they were paying. And it's looked a whole lot better than having Harden coming in there with all those young guys and not exactly being the kind of leader they want on or off the court.
All right, we went a little Rocket tangent there, but I was, dovetailing off of the Will Anderson signing. A lot of fun young players in this town right now. Hopefully it turns into some wins. All right.